Back live at the Dallas Convention Center, there is a war in Dallas, and it's being fought with ink print and newsprint. The duel between the Dallas dailies is reaching extravagant proportions during the Republican National Convention. Tonight, Jose Sanders, Vicki Monks, and I are bringing you a special series of reports on the Dallas newspaper wars.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around, get around, I get around, get around.
A party for 6,000 and drinks are on the house. A folding fur and Hawaiian vacations are the door prizes, and there are plenty of big-name stars. What does this have to do with newspapers? The Dallas Times Herald was one of 4 co-sponsors of Saturday night's bash. Dallas Times Herald publisher Lee Guitar won't say how much money the Herald threw in. You can bet it was more than a few dollars.
No more than a few. Slightly more than a few.
So who are they trying to impress? Republican delegates, rich and powerful VIPs for starters, but probably more importantly, the national media. More than 10,000 news people are in Dallas to cover the Republican National Convention. And while the eyes of the world are upon us, the Dallas newspapers want to make darn sure they shine. And both papers are going all out to impress the national press.
A lot of people have certainly read about the newspaper war in Dallas. And we think this is a really good opportunity for us to show people what we're all about.
A Dallas Morning News barbecue for the press and other events the newspapers will sponsor this week are just part of the battle for prestige the News and the Times Herald are waging. One skirmish in the war for supremacy in Big D.
News on the mark! It's an old fight. Started, some say, way back when Dallas was spelled with a little d. Today's Dallas Morning News and Times Herald are offspring of newspapers that first came off the presses in the mid-1800s. They are survivors. Like Dallas itself, both papers have a history filled with strong, determined men, hard times, great successes, sudden failure, and timely marriage. As Dallas grew, so did the intensity of the war between the two newspapers.
Most of the competition, I think, was among the reporters who really got after it, who competed heavily on each and every beat, and who daily wanted to get scoops. But only in the last, I would say in the last 15 years, has that direct, daily, head-to-head competition taken on the tone that it's taken now.
While the two papers competed against each other somewhat aggressively in the 50s and 60s, it wasn't until the mid-70s that the war actually drew its first blood. That's when the afternoon Times Herald decided to go head-to-head with the Dallas Morning News in the morning.
Today, Monday, August 20th, 1984, the battle rages as never before. The front line right now, the GOP convention.
What does Molly Ivins have to say about one of my favorite subjects? The Texas political scene is reaching a white-hot fever pitch this season.
The weapons of war include TV and radio commercials, billboards, newsboys, and yellow roses. It's a marketing battle intensified to the extreme.
Obviously, these papers are showing off, and I don't like it because I don't like to see journalists playing to each other. I think that's what's happening this week, is these papers are both trying to have the guys from the New York Times and the Washington Post and CBS and what have you say, wow, isn't that an amazing newspaper? I don't think that serves readers.
Both newspapers are printing armloads of special sections this week on the convention and every other imaginable subject.
They come in too many pieces. It's a series of magazines more than a newspaper, yeah. They're both pretty good, I think.
You think they're doing?
I like one better than the other because it carries my column.
But much of the national media hasn't had the time to delve into the stories the newspaper staffs have slaved so long and hard to produce. The national press has its own work to do, and there are more exciting ways to spend time, such as attending the newspaper-sponsored opera starring Luciano Pavarotti.
And our two reporters are on the convention floor now. Vicki, Jose, what happens tomorrow night?
Well, Clarice, we found out about both papers' master plan for convention coverage, including how far they will go to get a story.
And we'll see some surprising reactions to the sheer volume of newsprint facing readers this week.
Okay, thank you. Vicki Monk, Jose Sanders on the convention floor. We want to point out here that both the Morning News and the Times Herald are owned by larger media companies. The Times Mirror Company owns the Herald and KDFW TV in Dallas, and the A.H. Belo Company owns the Morning News and WSAA TV.